Hey, what's up, gang? Welcome to number 3, Art at Home. Today we're gonna work on other things that we can find around the house, and we're gonna start with, first of all, these things. Anybody have any idea what these are? Ooh. Let's see. Focus. Ooh. Alright, we're going to be using cotton balls. Hopefully you folks have some cotton balls located in your casa somewhere. Alright, we're going to just make a couple of fun things using our cotton balls. We're also going to need Q-tips. Okay, and we're also going to need a piece of paper. We're not going to require this entire sheet of paper, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 2x4. Okay, so I have a 2x4 piece of paper, approximately. I'm going to use one Q-tip, and I'm going to find a cotton ball in this group. Now, if you guys are going to be taking cotton balls, make sure you ask parents' permission first, because cotton balls are supposed to stay pretty clean. You shouldn't be digging your hand around like it's a bag of chips trying to pull out a cotton ball you like. Just ask your parents if you guys can get a few so that you can choose one that looks the roundest, the most fluffiest. Okay, I like this one. This one is a nice shape. Kind of like this one too. This one's nice. Alright. And then I'm just going to choose one more cotton ball. It doesn't matter what it looks like, because this one we're actually going to be pulling apart. So I'm going to take these extra ones and move it off the side. Do not put the cotton balls that you grabbed out or that you haven't used back inside the cotton ball bag, inside the bag of cotton balls, because it's going to contaminate the rest of them. So just keep them out. Okay, sometimes these are used for cuts and whatnot, and you don't want to put this back in the bag and you got your germs in there. Alright, so just put them off to the side for now. I have my couple of cotton balls and then my extra cotton ball that I will be pulling apart. I have my Q-tips. What I want to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut my Q-tip right in the middle. Okay, so take your scissors, make sure your scissors are pointing away from you. Hold one side of the Q-tip. Do not put your fingers near where you're cutting. And then you're going to put your scissors in the middle, and you're going to slowly chew on it in the back of the blades. Okay, it's really difficult to cut anything with the tip of the blade of the scissors, and sometimes the scissors will slip and they'll separate. So what you want to do is you want to have the back of the teeth, the back of the bite. You want that going into the Q-tip there. Okay, and you just kind of squeeze it and whoop, pops right off. Now, yesterday when we did our puppet, we had some leftover cardboard, so I'm just going to grab a small piece of cardboard here, and I'm going to use this as a drying rack. Okay, so this is going to be where I put my work when it's drying, because first of all, I don't want the glue getting on top of my desk or on top of my bed or carpet, wherever you guys are working. So you might want to think about actually putting down a piece of paper as a placemat, or even using a placemat. Okay, but I'm not going to put a placemat down, because if I did this, you won't be able to see any of the work that I'm doing today, since everything is white. It's going to be hard to see, so I'm just going to leave it on my black desk and just be very careful. When I am done, however, I am going to be using this cardboard piece as a serving tray, kind of, just to keep my pieces from making anything else dirty. So I'm going to keep that right over here on the top so you guys can see the screen. Okay, make sure that you have 2 of the cotton balls that you like. And then the final cotton, the third cotton ball, you're going to kind of find a way to pull it, because you want to pull off a small amount of cotton. Okay, and then you're going to kind of ball it up. Try and maybe ball it like this. Maybe that'll help. See the way it became? This fuzzy little ball. So now it's like a miniature cotton ball. next to your regular size cotton balls. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So I'm gonna pull off the same amount as I did before, or at least I'm gonna try. This excess we can put on the side for now. We don't really need it now. And then I'm gonna smash this ball. Roll it up. Roll, 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 roll. Okay. So I have 2 small cotton balls, 2 large cotton balls, 2 cut Q-tips. Alright. Now, what am I going to do with this little piece of paper? Let me show you. Now we're going to need a pencil. Okay. We're going to use our graphite pencil to draw on this tiny piece of paper. And what we're going to draw is we're going to draw 2 circles. Circles are pretty big. As you can see on my paper, circles are pretty big. They're bigger. They're big like my thumbprint. So if you guys want to measure it out, you guys can. Put your thumb there. Got to be bigger than that, because if you make your circles too small, like that small, it ain't gonna work. Just letting you know now. Now the piece of paper over here on this side, I'm gonna draw a couple of ovals. Okay. In fact, half of a Q-tip would probably be a good measure as to how big I should draw my ovals. So if I put my Q-tips on the side of my paper here, like that, and I trace around them, there's one. Oops, put that back. And here's 2. Trace around my Q-tip. Okay, put these back off to the side. Darken my lines so you guys can see them. Alright, so it should look like this. You got the 2 circles and the 2 ovals side by side. Okay, and now I'm going to take out my colored crayons, colored pencils, or markers. And the color that I'm choosing is going to be a pink color. If you can find a pink color someplace, that'd be great. But we're going to use like a pinkish color. I'd also like to use a black Sharpie. Black Sharpie is going to be used to outline these shapes. And I'll show you what to do with the pink one as soon as we're done outlining. Alright, so now that I've finished outlining my circles and my ovals, I can start coloring them. Okay, at the bottom of the teardrop, that's where I'm going to start coloring in my shape, and I'm not going to color very much. Okay, so I'm going to color it on that side. This side is wider on the bottom here, so I'm going to color this in too. Kind of see what's happening here. Okay, and then for these 2 circles, I'm going to draw a smaller circle like we did with the eyeballs. Well, like I did on the eyeballs yesterday when we did the sock puppet. I'm just going to pretend I'm drawing the iris of the eyeballs like I did yesterday on my sock puppet again. But this time, instead of leaving a little white highlight on the eye, I'm going to color the whole thing in. Okay, so it should look like this. See that? So it's got the smaller oval on the inside of the big oval. It's got smaller circles on the inside of the bigger circles, just like that. Okay. I'm going to take my scissors again, and now I'm going to cut these shapes out. This is rubbish. I'll throw this away. I'm looking at my cotton balls, and what I'm going to do, if you haven't figured it out already, is I am going to be creating some cotton ball characters with these shapes and these cotton balls. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Sharpie on my cotton balls now, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of tap my Sharpie over and over and over again because you're going to notice that drawing on cotton, not all that easy. Okay. It's like I'm tattooing the cotton ball. Okay, so there is one dot. Move over to the other side and I start pecking at the cotton ball again. So now we have eyeballs. Okay, I can even put a little dot in the middle for the nose. There we go. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to put glue on the back of one of my cotton balls, like that. And then I'm going to take my small cotton ball and I'm going to go ahead and press it right on the back. So now I have a little fluffy cottontail. Cool. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the glue again, and I'm going to stick the glue on the very top of its head. Give it a couple of sticky clumps, like that. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my shapes, and I'm going to stick it inside the cotton ball. Push it in. Just kind of stab it in there. Okay. I'll get a better angle for you guys to see. Okay. So I'm going to kind of grab some of that glue and I'm going to shove it in there. Give it some ears. Now with these Q-tips, I want to put them on top of the little mat here I have. And I'm going to place them flat so that they don't move. Placing them flat on top of the mat. Then I'm going to take the glue and I'm going to put the glue over the sticks of the Q-tip, a little bit on excuse me, a little bit on top of the Q-tip itself, on the base of the cottony part, but mostly I want it on the very top of the Q-tip stick. Okay, and you're going to place them side by side. That. Then you're going to take your cotton ball and place it right on top. Fix my ears. Okay, I'm trying my best to hold this in front of the camera. So now you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Now you're going to set this on the side for it to dry so that it doesn't fall apart. It's going to take a little while. So I'm just going to grab this little thing and set it here off to the side. And I'm going to continue working on this one. Just tap it in, just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Alright, so there's Our creepy mouse. And I'm gonna leave the mouse and the rabbit on top of my little tray for them to dry. And as they are drying, we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is you're gonna find yourself an empty paper towel or an empty toilet paper roll. Please do not just empty a paper towel or toilet paper roll just for this project. Wait for the toilet paper or the paper towel to run out before you guys start using the stuff on the inside. This is just for us that are recycling to do our artwork. I don't want you guys like stealing the paper towels off the paper towel roll. Wait for it to go away, and then you guys can go ahead and use the paper towel roll. Alright, when the paper towels are done. Alright, so we do not need the entire roll. We're only going to need maybe a couple of inches. So we're going to estimate. You know what we can do? We'll cut the paper towel roll in half. Everybody knows where half is. Okay? So when you cut it in half, they should be approximately the same size, right? So this one is slightly off. I believe I measured a few millimeters off. Not a big deal, okay? But this is cool because now if you have siblings or if you have younger, older siblings, or maybe parents that want to do this project with you, you can share. And if it were a toilet paper roll, it would probably be about this size anyway. So you can actually cut this size in half again. So let's cut our paper towel down to a toilet paper. We're gonna cut it one more time in half with our scissors. Okay. If you have a family member who wants to do this along with you, you can share. So now we have 4 separate paper towel, empty paper towel rolls that are cut. You know, that's what we want. All right. What we're going to need next is that piece of paper that we use to cut the mouse ears and the bunny ears out of. So we can use this paper. And I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to mark the top of my paper towel roll with a black mark. Now the reason why I'm putting a mark is because I want to measure how long of a piece of paper I'm going to need in order to wrap around this whole paper towel roll. So now in order to do that, I'm using this as a marking tool so that when I put this flat on the paper like this, you see the way you can see that marker there? If I go to the edge of my paper and then I roll it all the way down until I reach that mark again, here, it's a flat on top of the paper again. I'll know that if I put a mark here, that if I cut this width out, I'll be able to cover my paper towel roll. Okay, so I'll try that again. I'll show you that again. So changing my paper in this orientation so that the camera can see it better, and grabbing my pencil so that I'm ready to mark. All right. Using the mark on the inside of my roll, I'm going to put it right on the edge of my paper. Can you see that? Now what I'm going to do is from this edge, I'm going to go all the way around, rolling it. As you can see, this is halfway. Rolling it some more until I get back down to the paper. And when it's touching the paper, I take my pencil and I give it a little mark. And that is where I should cut my paper. Okay? And in order to measure how tall your paper needs to be, just put your paper towel just put your paper towel roll right on the edge of the line up here, and then you can measure that line going all the way to the base, like that. Let's do that nicely. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight towards that mark, and then I'm going to cut on my line like that. Let's see if it works, shall we? Oh, I'm hoping it did. So don't throw this away yet, we still need that. Or unless you want to give some to your parents or your siblings, then they can use that paper, that way you guys don't waste, yeah. Let's see. So if I wrap it around, yep, it reaches all the way around. See, reaches all the way around. Now I have the entire thing covered. But one thing that's bad is that it's too tall. But I'll show you guys how to correct that later. Okay, but for now, take your paper, place it flat on top of your work area. Now what we're going to do is we are going to be working right in the center of our paper. We're going to ignore back here, because this area here, we are going to draw a picture. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by drawing a semicircle right at the bottom. We're just going to go up and around and back down again. Okay, so that half circle is going to represent the stomach of our project, of our creature. Okay, right above the stomach, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle, kind of a small circle. From this circle, we're going to draw what look like antenna sticking out of the top. Just a couple of lines going at an angle. Kind of looks like a ladybug now. Okay, and then we're going to draw a couple of rounded lines coming down. Like that. And then we're going to go ahead and bring it back to the circle. Those two shapes are going to be closed up. Now it kind of looks like a person wearing really big bows, a really big bow in their hair. Okay. First, we're going to start inside the bow that we just drew, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw a couple of quarter circles inside the bow. It's going to make it look like a watermelon. Okay, like this is the green part of the watermelon, and this is the pink part where you eat. So it kind of looks like a watermelon, right? And then you're going to do that one more time. See that? So I drew it one more time. And then I'm going to put a couple of circles. One circle is going to be on the right. The other circle is going to be on the right. See that? So a circle here, a circle there. And they're both located towards the right. One is towards the rind, the other one is closer towards where you bite the watermelon. Okay? Now inside this little circle, we're going to put a tiny triangle. See that? I'm going to zoom in really close so you guys can see this. Alright, so on the bottom where that body part, the stomach part is, we are going to put 1, 2, 3, little bumps coming out just like that. We're going to do that twice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to do the same thing underneath this watermelon shape. We're going to do the same thing. Instead, we are going to make one facing horizontally, and then we're going to face the other two. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, and we're going to face them vertically. 2, 3. And then we're just going to go ahead and connect those lines. And that's going to go right underneath the bow on this side. On the other side, you're going to make the same exact shape, but you're going to be facing it mirrored. So you're going to have this part that's facing in is going to face in this way. And then the other two shapes are going to go vertically. And then you're going to close that up. All right. So let's zoom out. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color this, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to outline my work with my Sharpie to make it dark, and then I'm going to color it in. So we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I colored my picture. I was able to color everything else one flat color. See really close there. That's what I did with the eyes, the nose, the tummy. Okay. A couple more things we need to do. So if you still have some of that leftover paper, might I suggest chopping off a little bit of it. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this piece of paper here is I'm going to draw a teardrop shape. Teardrop shape like that. But instead of ending with a triangle here, we're going to put a little rounded circle so it looks like this. Okay, so instead of doing a teardrop that ends in a sharp drip, we're going to put a nice big circle. Alright, because we're going to use this to glue. We're going to glue on top of this part here, and we want to make sure that it's nice and thick. We want to make it skinny. Okay, and then over here in this empty space up here, we're going to put a couple of triangles. These are going to be the ears. Okay. So now I'm going to quickly color this up. What I'm going to do here, so if these are the ears here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this big thing sticking out. I'm going to make that the tail. So it's going to be the tail. Alright. So on the tail, I'm just going to put these little fuzzy lines cutting across just like this. Alright. Then I'm going to put two smaller triangles on the inside of the ears. There we go. And that's it. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my Sharpie to outline this work, and then I'm going to color that in so that we can move on to the last part, which is cutting and gluing. Alright, so I have all my pieces all colored up. They're ready to go. I am going to take my toilet paper roll, or my paper towel roll, and I'm going to go ahead and put glue and roll this piece all the way around. So first I'm going to take my glue, I'm going to add it to the back of my paper. Okay. Take my finger and smooth out the glue like so. Okay. Taking the roll, making sure that it's at the edge of the paper towel roll. I'm going to wrap it around the back. I'm going to wrap it around the front. Close that bad boy up and pinch it, going all the way around in a circle. Pinch, 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 pinch. Okay. Now I have excess excess paper here, as you can see on the inside. It's not cut perfectly, so I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. I'm going to put some on top of my finger. Oops, let's open it first. Put a little bit of glue on the inside of my finger, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub it on top of the toilet paper roll. Okay, so I'm just going to rub it on the inside of the toilet paper roll, just like that. Okay, so I rubbed it on the inside of the toilet paper roll, and now I'm just going to fold the paper in, fold it in, fold it in. So now it should be glued onto the inside of the toilet paper roll. Okay, solid. All right, I'm going to do the ears first. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the ears, just a little dot. A little dot of glue. Little dot of glue. Close my glue up again. Take one ear, and I'm going to make sure that I put it right above the eye and glue that in. Take my other ear, pick it up carefully because I got glue on the bottom, and go right above the other eye and place it there. Alright, so now we got our ears. Yeah, there's some glue sticking out. I'm not worried about it because it'll be sitting on this side drying, so I'm not too worried about the glue being on the coming out of the ear like that. It'll just dry like that. It's fine. Whoops, getting a little too sticky. It's a sticky situation. Okay, now the tail, I left a little bit of it white. That's where I'm going to put the glue. Put a dot. Take my finger, rub it in. And I'm going to glue it to the back where the seam is. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tail right over the seam. And then I'm press. Press. Alright, I'm going to have it sticking out the side. Alright. So if you see that, there's a little paper towel tiny critter. That's not bad. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, for those of you that maybe don't have a paper towel roll or toilet paper rolls available and you guys want to start now, you can use a cup. Now the difference about the cup is that it's conical, so it's like a cone. So it's larger on top of the drinking part than it is on the standing part, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to use the drinking part down, we're going to face it down to the ground, and we're going to use the top of the cup, the bottom of the cup as the top of the head of the animal. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, how do I get paper to wrap around something that's shaped like a cone? Well, I have a little cheat here. You just need a marker. These are my daughter's washable markers. These are really perfect for this use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly rub some ink along the mouth of the cup. Okay, and I'm going to quickly take the cup before the ink dries, starting from the edge of my paper, put it down, and I am going to rub the cup off like that. So you see that it left this kind of ghosting image from the ink right here. Then I take my scissors and I cut along that ink's edge. This rounded line here is the same shape that goes around the cup. So when I take my paper and I place it there on my cup, see that? And I go all the way around, it stays on the bottom. Okay, so the only thing I'm gonna have to actually worry about is getting rid of the top paper here. That's this excess part over here above the cup over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it now. Just cut some of the top off, tippy top. Get that out of the way. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the top. Maybe cut a little bit more. Okay, that was a terrible way to cut, but at least now it's more manageable to draw on. Okay. Rubbish. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be drawing on this side of the paper. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to draw a light line going up the side of the cup with the paper on it. And the reason why I'm putting these marks here is this way I know where to draw. So when I open it up, this is going to be my focal point. Okay, let me zoom in. See this? So these two lines here are telling me this is where I'm going to focus my drawing. I'm not going to draw outside over here. I'm just going to keep my drawing focus here because that's about how wide the cup is. And that's where most of my picture is going to be. If I draw my picture going all the way out to the side, like say I draw a really big head when the eyes are over here, when I wrap this around the cup, the eyes are going to be all the way in the back of the head or back of the body, or depending on what you're making. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm only drawing these lines very lightly because I'm going to erase them later. I don't want them to stay there. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick sketch of an animal. And my animal is going to have really big eyes because my animal is nocturnal. Nocturnal meaning that it sleeps during the day and it hunts at night. What animal do you think that is? It has big eyes, that's up at night, hunts at night, sleeps during the day. I'll give you another hint. It has a triangular beak, which means that it's some kind of bird. You guys think of the answer yet? I'll give you another hint. Its name starts with a P. Guess yet? How many of you guys said pueo? Well, if you did, you're right. Pueo, some of you may or may not know, is an owl. You guys see that? So there's my picture of my pueo. I'm going to go ahead and outline it and color it, come back, go ahead and glue it on top of the cup. We'll be right back. Alright, so I have my picture colored. See my owl there? So it's all done. It's all all nice. Now I'm going to try and get it to wrap around this cup. And right off the bat, what you're going to notice is when I wrap it around the cup, we have a little piece of paper sticking out. It's not completely like completely trimmed down to fit over the cup. But it's pretty darn close. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil again and I'm going to draw a line going straight up where it's folded. I'm using my thumb to hold all the paper in place. I'm just going to draw a line straight up to the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this line that I just drew using my scissors. Okay, I'm not sure what that did, but let's find out. Okay. Alright. And now this looks much neater because I trimmed that area. My colors match up. And when I flip it over, you can actually see where my picture is. So that looks cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cheat with this part. So rather than actually gluing down the picture, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some tape. If you have some tape at home, that would be awesome. And I'm gonna come back to the place that I cut again. I'm just gonna put this piece of tape right down the middle of that freshly cut area, and that's gonna hold it together. And I'm gonna go ahead and tape the bottom. Now, in order to keep this thing on top of my cup, what I can do is take a piece of tape, tape a little bit of the bottom of the picture, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take this tape and fold it inside the cup and just flatten it out. So I'm probably gonna do that about 4 times, one on each side of the cup, just so I have these nice even tacks there. So there's another one. Come in the front by the tummy of my owl. Push that in there, twist it around, tape it in there. On this side of the owl, tape that there, push it around and in. Okay. And now the top of my picture here, I can trim it down a bit. So once again, I'm just gonna kind of go in a circle and just trim around my volcano. There we go. Some beautiful artwork. Alright, so we were able to make a cup owl. We were able to make a paper towel or toilet paper roll raccoon. And we were able to make these cotton ball cuties here. My mouse is a little tired. We got a mouse there and a rabbit with dead eyes. Oh, no, I was joking. Alright. I'm sure you guys can make yours look cuter. Alright. That should keep you guys busy for a little while, right? See you next time.